And so the next player that we're bringing up and we're going to talk about is Dereck Lively II. Talk about Dereck.
Yeah, I would like to preface this with, these last two players and Chris Murray and Dereck Lively, they feel like I just went on Warriors Twitter and picked the first two names. I kid you not, me and my buddy Obi have been arguing these specific two players 5 months ago for the Warriors. Like, we thought that these two were going to be available when they were picking, and we thought these two fit. So, like, I think that it's just everyone else, I guess, has a similar idea as us. But Dereck Lively,
so Chris Murray, small forward. We talked about him possibly playing the 4, stretch 4. Dereck Lively is a 7'1" center.
Yes. And I could see the pushback if Warrior fans hear 7'1" center in the first round. We might start getting Wiseman flashbacks, but fear not. Dereck Lively is he's a super athlete, and he's the thing with Dereck Lively, he is very I don't want to use it. I'm going to say it though, but what you wanted Wiseman to be this year, you wanted him to be JaVale McGee.
Mm-hmm.
This guy could be that on steroids. This guy, I think
rim run,
elite defense,
block
shots, has the potential to play a little defensive versatility where if he gets put into switches, you're not going to totally shoot yourself in the head if he's put on a small forward or a power forward. In pick and roll, he's going to play drop, but he sometimes plays this little, like, he plays the cat and mouse game kind of well in the pick and roll.
The hedge.
The thing that I feel like says Warriors about him is that he doesn't, like, it's not that he doesn't really want to shoot, but he doesn't really want to shoot. Like, he's not looking to get his whatsoever. He's just looking to dunk the ball in a lob situation. And I feel like that screams Warriors basketball for the center position. Guys who are willing to play DHO, guys who are willing to catch the ball in the paint and say, oh, there's Klay Thompson wide open in the corner. Let's kick it to him. I think the thing that's intriguing about this guy is, another Warriors thing in drafting, which might be lazy by Bob Myers. This guy was a number 3 high school recruit.
They love those guys, right?
They love those guys. They love the top 10 high school picks who maybe took a step back in college, whether it's James Wiseman, whether it's Dereck Lively, whether it's good old Nico Mannion, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody. I'm sure there's a couple more that Kevon Looney was a top high school recruit. He was supposed to be like top 3 until he got a major injury.
He was going to be Kevon. He was going to be Kevon Durant.
Yeah. But yeah, Dereck Lively in high school, he showed that he did have a 3-point shot. It looked good.
Okay, but he only shot 15% last year.
Yep. So in college, he did not shoot the ball well whatsoever. He took, I think I saw a video that he took 17 attempts maybe, like, in all of college, and the shot form looked a little different and it was nowhere near. So I guess, like, when you're drafting this guy, you're not expecting him to stretch the floor, but it's like an added bonus if he could tap back into some of that high school stuff. But with Dereck Lively, I just think that he's a center that can fit what the Warriors do. And I think he's very willing to be in that type of system. The thing with James Wiseman, which I feel like didn't work, is that if he didn't get his touches, he sulked. If he made a mistake, he sulked. But it was really like that guy wanted to get involved and wanted, like, to score the basketball, wanted the basketball in his hands to put the ball in the hoop. Dereck Lively's not like that. He's willing to play the system. He's an athletic, like, he has very similar athletic traits like James. They both could run the break quick as hell, being 7 feet tall. Like, they could be down and back. I'd be interested in seeing, like, a down and back, who wins, James Wiseman or Dereck Lively. Like, I'm sure it'd be pretty close because they're both that kind of athlete. I just think the difference here is that James Wiseman has more of an offensive bag. He's more versatile on offense, but he wanted the ball. The Warriors don't really want their center to have the ball in this kind of offense. Dereck Lively fits that mold more. Dereck Lively doesn't have offensive versatility yet. He's not going to develop any, like, dribble pull-up stuff, any, like, fadeaway mid-range stuff. He's just going to be run, dunk the ball, and we cross our fingers if he develops a 3-point shot. That's it. And I think I'm okay with that. Defensively, though, that's where he's super intriguing. The block shots guy, the guy who you get switched on a forward and you're not totally mad about because he can move his feet really well. I think that there's a chance. Dereck Lively, to me, fits the new center mold that I really want for the Warriors, that I feel like, Kevon Looney is a little bit of. But it's It's the Jalen Durans of the world. It's the Mark Williams of the world. I remember when we went to that Detroit Pistons game, you were watching Duran and you were like, wow, that guy killed us. Like he could be a guy who just like kind of torments the Warriors for a couple of years. Little premeditated. He's a rookie, but he had a really good game against the Warriors. And I could totally see that. He's that type of mold, that type of center. Mark Williams, Jalen Duran. High end of it is like a Nicholas Claxton, Rob Williams.
They might be able to get Rob Williams if they want him.
Yeah. I think it's a center that's not super involved offensively. Like he's literally just there to, do the dunking and the lob catching, but defense, he's a threat. He's a guy who can with versatility, who could potentially switch. I think that's the new mold for the center. And I think that I want the Warriors to get one. Onyeka Okongwu is another one. But Onyeka's a little smaller, but Dereck Lively, I think if I pull up here, I think KOC's got him. He's got him shades of Willie Cauley-Stein.
Yeah, so I'll read it. I pulled it up because I was very interested in what he said. And in his latest mock draft, which was last week, he does have them going to the Warriors at 19. The pairing Willie Cauley-Stein, maybe the best case of Willie Cauley-Stein. We actually saw Willie Cauley-Stein in the pandemic year, and he was not great. But maybe if the Warriors were good, then maybe he
could have been helpful. Yeah.
All right. So here's the pluses that KOC has. You mentioned this, just being a finisher. Also, he has touch near the rim, and KOC believes he could eventually develop the 3-point shot. He says he's very comfortable in the corners, and he could have some untapped potential as a spot up. Loves to run the floor to get ahead of the defense. Is kind of what you're saying with Wiseman and him running a race. Getting Wiseman ahead of the defense because he can just beat the center down the floor. That was kind of one of the keys for Wiseman. 7'7", 7'8" wingspan. So this dude's got some long arms as well. And he says impactful help defender who covers a lot of ground and takes off in a blink for blocks on the inside. Now, the minuses are a little alarming. The term gentle giant is not necessarily the one you want to hear from somebody who you expect to be like play some mean defense for the Warriors. He also said he's not vacuuming up the defensive rebounds like he did in high school, partly because he's just so much more athletic than everybody in high school, so they were easier. So getting stronger, needs to get stronger. And defensively, and this is some of what you were saying, he may be a little bit too comfortable out there because he finds himself out of position in defending the perimeter with handoffs and such, and just inconsistent effort at high school, but something that he improved at Duke. That is maybe the scariest minus of all of them, because the effort thing, when you play around Draymond and you play around Steph and you play around Clay, and these guys are soaking their jerseys in a regular season game because they want to win so badly, that's definitely a minus for someone who's such a young kid too.
Yeah, those are good points. I pulled up the NBA. They kind of put together this list of routing you to different prominent mock drafts.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to read off some prominent publications and where they had Dereck Lively going. So CBS, they had Dereck Lively going number 18 to the Miami Heat. That's one pick before the Warriors. They had the Warriors selecting G.G. Jackson, one of my guys. Not good for the Warriors. So now we're in SB Nation. They had the Memphis Grizzlies selecting Dereck Lively at number 25.
Ooh, okay.
So that's a pretty big drop off. They had the Warriors selecting Leonard Miller of the G League Ignite.
Dereck Lively and Jaren Jackson on the same team.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Let them go up and get shots and block them all.
Yeah. You said what the Ringer had. They had going to the Warriors.
Yeah.
At 19. The Athletic. Here's one.
Is this
Sam?
Him
going Vicini. It's Sam Vicini. They had him going number 10 to the Dallas Mavericks. And I think Yahoo had him going also to the Warriors.